Hello and welcome to Read Right Now. This week I'm really going wild. I've come to Castlewell in Forest Park in County Down and I'm looking for this week's learner. He's only a young guy. His name is Johnny Keating from Letterkenny in County Donegal. And we come to the park here because we're here to learn some primitive living skills.
In this programme, as well as looking at the technologies of our ancestors, we'll be looking at new technology and using a mobile phone to send and receive text messages. And we'll be looking back at Johnny's experience of education, as well as the part he played in setting up today's primitive living skills course.
So as you know, we're going to be making fire by friction.
Yeah.
The method that we're going to do today is actually a bow drill. We'll start off with carving the drill.
Right.
Course instructor Antonio will be teaching Johnny and Derek some of the skills needed to survive in the wilderness, using nothing but the natural resources available.
This is what it should look like. Yeah?
Right.
Johnny has already started working on the tools needed to make a fire. However, Derek's first task is to find them.
Now, what I have here is no map, and it didn't help me find Johnny in the park, but it will help you with your journey back into learning. It's the free Read Right Now workbook, and if you want to get a copy, all you have to do is find a phone and dial 1-800 20 20 65. That's 1-800 20 20 65 to get your copy of the free Read Right Now workbook, and I can assure you, you will not regret it. I'm kind of reluctant to interrupt both of you, but hello, Antonio.
Hi.
I'm Derek. And hello, Johnny. You keep going.
You know,
I have to ask you a few questions so we can find out about you. I'm told that you had dyslexia.
I was born with dyslexia. I found out I was dyslexic when I was about, I'd say, 5 or 6 or 7. I'm not quite sure. But my older brother had dyslexia as well. That's why my parents found out, noticed it in me.
Yeah.
Kind of at a younger age. So
did it affect you in any way though, or did you just get on with it?
When you know you're dyslexic and you know you're not a great reader and speller and things like that, you have less confidence and you find it harder to do things like essays and stuff like that. There were just things I wouldn't have done. I never told anybody personally, but I know the school must have known somewhere.
Why didn't you tell anybody? Were you shy, embarrassed?
I was kind of embarrassed, and it was kind of like I didn't want anybody to know because that would have made me different. And when you're a teenager and you're in school, you don't want to be set apart as being different. Like.
Dyslexia is a specific learning difficulty that makes it hard for some people to learn to read and write. It affects people in many different areas of their lives. It is only since his adult education course that Johnny has gained a real understanding of why he learned differently to his classmates.
My brain would work differently because I'm dyslexic. You're not slow, you're not stupid, you're far from it. It's a bad filing system. That's what our head's like. We just get everything and throw it in there, you know, that we learn. And then when we're trying to recall that information, it's just that bit harder to find. I'd have to read things loads of times to even get a wee bit of information to stay. Some of my old school books. It's lucky we have them. I didn't burn them. It was my woodwork one. There was less books and more doing it with your hands, and I'd find it easier to learn that way than reading something out of a book. Just messing in class, trying to get kicked out of class so I wouldn't have to read, you know. I went out of my way to get in trouble, because I was trying to get the attention away from the fact that I thought I was stupid. This is my geography book. Through geography, you could see all the things out in the mountains, especially up around Donegal. It's great. You can as they see it. When you're doing about the sea and about waves and about erosion and all that there, what helped me was coming and looking at it and seeing how it works and how it happens, and it's easier to visualise and it stays in my memory better then. Mum and Dad were great because they got me involved in loads of sports to try and give me that bit of normality, you know, that everybody else seemed to have. And yeah, my mum and dad would have been the big pushers to get me into these things. Well, this is me dad's playing. I started doing my lessons when I was about 16. The dyslexia didn't really affect the flying because pretty much I learnt with my eyes and learnt with my hands, and I've seen everything I learnt, probably seen from my father doing 100 times anyway. So I never really expected that I would be smart enough to go and do it, and then to find out that it's not the hardest thing in the world, it gives you a great sense of confidence. It builds you up, like, slowly but surely. This is the Career Path Centre, and I spent about 7 months down here. The course is called Career Paths for Dyslexia. It's the only one of its kind in Europe. There's nothing like this anywhere else. Everything in this course has positive spin in it. Like, there's believe in yourself, learn from previous experience, things like that there. But like, you wouldn't read them every day, but you see them in front of you and you take them in. All these posters here are goals we set for ourselves when we start the course. And thanks be to God now, I've completed nearly everything I put down for myself. I wanted a decent job, full-time job, so I can start saving to go travelling for a couple of years. So that's all going well.
Try to keep the bow straight, don't go fast with the bow, okay?
I'm beginning to see smoke
Keep it
coming
nice
up
and
there,
high.
actually.
Hope that's not my jeans.
How long does it normally take to get the smoke going?
Take a couple of seconds.
Just a couple of
Just
seconds, if you're used to
yeah.
doing it.
That's it, yep.
Yeah. And it's a bit wet and damp today as well, which isn't helping, I'm sure.
It shouldn't matter too much.
He should have brought a box of matches with him. Box of old Maguire and Patterson. Something a bit modern. Speaking of which, I've got my mobile phone here and I've got to send a message because people will be wondering where I am, but I'm pretty tied up here, so I've got to send them a text message telling them that I'm busy.
Mobile phones are everywhere these days, and they're not just for making phone calls. You can also use them to send and receive written messages called text messages. In fact, it's a cheaper way of contacting friends and family than phoning is. This writing tip is about writing text messages. So, how's it done? Have a look at this mobile phone. The keys with these numbers from 2 up to 9 all have 3 or 4 letters on them. The letters are in alphabetical order, so that on the key with the number 2 on it, we have the letters A, B and C. On number 3, we have D, E and F, and so on. If you want the letter A, you press the key once, you press it twice for B, and 3 times for C. So let's have a look at a short message. Imagine you want to write a text to a friend saying something like, "Hi, I'll be busy all day and my phone will be off. I'll call you tonight." Now, there's not much room to write a text message and it takes time to press the letters, so some people try to shorten their messages. The first thing we can do is drop a few of those words. That leaves us with, "Hi, busy all day, phone off, call you tonight." Another shortcut is to drop some of the vowels, so you could shorten the word busy to BSY, or even use a single letter to replace a full word by replacing the word you with the letter U, because they sound the same. And there's another shortcut we can take by using the number 2 instead of writing the letters TO and writing the short version of night as NITE. So now we've got hi, busy all day, phone off, call you tonight. It means the same thing, but it's much quicker to type out than the longer message. Don't forget that this type of language and spelling is fine for text messaging, but don't use it for letters or forms or anywhere else where it's not appropriate. Leading up to the Primitive Living Skills course, Read Right Now made all the arrangements. However, Johnny needed to contact Antonio himself to find out the plan and what was required of him.
Sheila, will you just check this for me, will you?
Sure.
It's just for spellings and stuff.
Oh, is that-
It's I'm going to do this outdoor adventure activity centre thing, so just send them an email, you know.
Good. My name is Johnny Keating. I'll be during the course. We have a spelling mistake there next week. So that email is perfect, Johnny. Going to go ahead and send that.
Yeah, I'll just send that now.
Do you use the web to find out about cheap flights or?
Oh, the web's great because for one, cheap flights you can research absolutely anything. Other things like text messages. If you don't have credit on your phone,
Yeah.
you can register with Vodafone or I think you can do it
No,
with
I don't know
Vodafone.
how to do that. You show me how to do that.
Once you register, they'll send you a password. So you can go on and text. Yeah, I think you get 300 text messages a month, which is handy. Like that saves you a lot of money.
Okay. I have
having the web.
never known about that. Now I've never even used it, and I will use it now. Carry on.
It's handy. Right, sure. I might as well when I'm here send this by Antonio and a text message to say that I emailed him, so for him to check and get back to me with some information about it.
Would you do most of your texting on the computer or the mobile phone?
I probably now do most on the computer because actually my mobile there's something wrong with it because if the SIM card or something's burst.
And if it's damaged?
So see, that's got all my memory, that's got all my phone numbers, text messages, that's got everything on it.
This Get It is about SIM cards. Every mobile phone has a SIM card inside, and it's one of the things which makes your mobile phone light and easy to carry around. In other words, mobile. It looks like this. It's a small, delicate circuit board inside your phone, normally under the battery. When you buy a new phone, they usually put the SIM card in the shop, which is just as well because they're easily damaged. Now, if you really want to know, the letters SIM in SIM stand for Subscriber Identification Module. That might come in handy in a quiz sometime. The SIM card in your phone contains information about your identity, like your name, how you pay for your calls, and a list of saved phone numbers. It's amazing, really, how much information is contained in that little card. Because the card has your information on it, it makes things really easy when you get a new phone. You just take the SIM card out of your old phone, put it in your new one, and bingo. All that information is now available on your new phone. No need to type all those phone numbers in again.